Hi, I'm Micah Fernandez. So I work as a filmmaker and a creative storyteller, and most recently have gotten into virtual production and live XR technologies. Okay, so I run a virtual production studio called RoboSheep. But before then, I was focused on story-based and narrative-based solutions with another company called Luminaut. So we would really attempt to insert narratives and storytelling into brand and marketing communications, as well as business communications. So I've always wanted to really mix it up and insert as much creativity in how we would execute our videos. We would add animation. We would mix 2D and live action and 3D all in one spot. Um, so it led me to this field in virtual production where all of a sudden gaming technology could be incorporated into filmmaking and be used real time. So all of a sudden, the stories that we would always get told are too expensive or too inaccessible for us to create as Filipinos. All of a sudden, is well within reach. And um, looking ahead and seeing all of a sudden how much AI has even brought that bar even lower. So these are things that our company is really interested in looking into both as a solution and a service to clients, but also to create um, our own original content and really take things up a notch locally. So I'm part of one of the few virtual production companies in the Philippines, and as far as I am aware of, one that is really more focused on film and television. And as such, we are enjoying that we are playing in a very open field, but at the same time, it means the acceptance and support for emergent technology is a lot less than the established industry practices. So I think the rise of virtual production in the Philippines began roughly the same time as it did globally. When pandemic shut everything down, a lot of companies were rushing to figure out how they could create content from a safer environment without exposing people to the coronavirus. So it really rapidly emerged as a solution to that problem that we can't go out, um, but we still need to make highly imaginative, fantastical worlds for people to enjoy. Um, I know that's a common story for the even the top production virtual production companies worldwide, and that's also kind of where we got started. Things were shut down. um, we looked around, and me and my partners looked around, and we saw that we actually have enough to start with. So why not have a go at it? We're not doing anything anyway. So that's really where all of this began. It's a little odd being in something that's kind of considered a very blue ocean right now. Because when I speak internally with my other partners and co-creators, it feels like everyone already knows about what we're doing. It's very well publicized. It's not like there's a secret sauce to what we do. Um, Disney Plus does it, Netflix does it for their streaming shows. We just want to do the same here at the level that is both achievable for us and our reality, but also again that brings things up a notch for everyone. So when I do speak to clients and potential clients and other stakeholders about it, it's completely foreign to them, and it always I always get a little bit surprised that okay, something that I feel is very basic and should be treated as a normal tool in production is actually still quite unknown and still emergent where I live. And as a result, yeah, there's a lot of product education that needs to happen, teaching them why we should why we should look into this as serious solutions for creating both our film and TV shows. Um, there since compared to uh, other countries, I think while there have been a lot more opportunities emerging for filmmakers, by and large, it's still limited to certain channels and certain paths, and those particular entities they have a particular way of doing things as well. So this is it's something that hasn't gained as wide an acceptance because it's completely radicalizing the way production is done. Instead of relying on post, everything needs to be prepared and set up in pre-production. You know, we have to know what our sets look like. We have to know what what the script is, even. So this is something that is I know will sound a little odd to people outside the Philippines, or maybe not. But yeah, there are by and large, even at the script level, we haven't been able to really discipline ourselves to stick to a story, to stick to the script before we start filming. In my experience, like with working with TV, um, and some movies, the script could change up until the day itself. And it's not to say that virtual production doesn't allow for that improvisation, but you have to have a very good grasp of what it is you want to do and to create. And that's the advantage of being able to use a real-time system is you can already see what the result will be even before you step on the set. Um, there's a definite um, need for a tool like real-time filmmaking because it affords scale and quality at prices that aren't exaggerate that aren't exorbitant. I think when I started on this, we did think that the only way we would ever be able to find work is to connect with foreign productions outside the country, or commercials with very high budgets. But as we like started actually implementing projects, using it at smaller scales, we even did something as small as a TikTok video for influencers. Then we realized that yes, the tech is has a barrier to entry in terms of price and learning curve, but there are products and solutions that we could offer all the way down to micro content level. It's just a matter of reimagining the production process to allow for real-time technology.
How prolific is it being used in mainstream media?
Okay. So the large TV networks, the ones that create the most content right now, and the movie studios, um, have gotten to used to a certain way of working, which poses a bit of a challenge to how we operate. So, just for a quick context, virtual production puts a lot of work that would have been done in post after the shoot right in pre-prod, and that practice is something I won't not necessarily that no one does it locally, but there is a definite need um, to increase preparation time for even the most major productions. Um, Everyone says proper pre-production prevents problems on set. For them, and it's doubly true for virtual production because we are already creating the world, creating um, the environment, creating the exact frames in pre-production. So there might take it might take some time for mainstream acceptance locally, but yeah, that's why we're that's another thing we need to do aside from offering the service is also advocating for a way of um a way of doing film and TV that kind of goes against the norm right now. So aside from live sets for film and TV, real-time 3D is also getting into places like animation. Actually, it would have started from more as a tool for animation, uh, and and now what another emergent field is things like digital humans. So these are virtual influencers where very photorealistic models could be created and actually animated in real time. So there's plenty of applications outside of standard formatted TV and advertising and getting into advertising as well. So
Like most of the production, it happens in Manila. For when in terms of this, like how is it distributed to other cities? Is it just mainly focused around Manila, where digital production
well,
happens?
uh, um,
Or would
okay,
you
yeah.
say, like,
So
even the film industry in general, is it Manila centric? Like, is it distributed?
yeah, it, historically there would be more film and production activity focused in the capital in Manila. That has happily changed in the recent years. I know that Cebu is also angling to to up their participation and skill set in terms of filmmaking and animation. Um, it's still very heavily based around Manila. So what one thing that is quite unique uh, to virtual production is um, traditionally you would have to build your sets on location where you would shoot, and in this case, your set builders are really any artist with a computer. So one thing we are really keen on exploring and getting off the ground is being able to work with people who aren't located in the city, who are in the province, but do have the time and talent to put into the 3D program and send the set over to us. You know, there's no shipping cost. It's just data piped over the internet, but it's something that we can recreate in studio. Just a small example. I've been working with some interns who create their environments from home, and since over the course of the pandemic, we would try to reduce as much physical contact with them as possible. But they were still able to turn in work and and learn how the ropes, remotely. So that's something quite exciting about this way of and method of filmmaking.
In our infrastructure, like, I don't know, technological infrastructure, in the way our businesses are built in terms of skills and I don't know, capacity building, what would you say are the obstacles to the success of virtual production?
I think the first obstacle is really just awareness. I have tried to go down to university level to look for people who can work with us, and the best candidates are still very much oriented towards game art and development. Simply because they've been more established and have established partnerships with certain universities already. For example, Ubisoft and DLSU have strong partnerships. Um, People are open, like at least the faculty and staff I've spoken to are very open to looking into filmmaking as another expression of using the Unreal Engine. Um, but but the if you would have students choose, they would tend more towards that side, and I think that's really more an awareness and acceptance issue. As far as technology goes, I there you do need mid to high level hardware to do it, and that might not always be something accessible to everyone, right? There is an economic reality that needs to be addressed, because you, you need a certain level. Like there's a cutoff for the type of technology, the kind of computer technology you would need with you. Secondly, or this is the third already. Anyway, the next thing I see is there's simply um, no formalized structure on in teaching virtual production. We actually do want to be one of the first, and that's why I have reached out to the universities to ask them on the prospect of us being able to train up and comers in our facility, since that's a permanent fixture already. Um, but even with that up, we aren't using the best tools quite yet. We're really making do with what we have, because there are cost implications to staying on top of things. But since we are leveraging our skills as filmmakers, we really just make do with the tools that are available to us. But it does hamper development, because there's more of a barrier to learning how to use it than if it was the proper tool. Like we have to come up with our own solutions, and ground in some small respects that wouldn't be relevant to a foreign industry, but locally it it is relevant because it's the only way the technology could work with the tools that we have.
Wow. So you kind of have to hack it to make it, like
Yeah,
hack.
actually, that's exactly what we did. We've hacked hardware, not major. Like again, not it's nothing. It's something that you could learn how to do. But yeah, every little incremental barrier to just getting the units to work, getting the virtual tracker to work is a barrier for someone actually being able to practice virtual production.
It's because of, and just to be clear, it's because of the quality of the equipment and the software and materials available to us. That's the barrier
Yes,
to entry,
yes,
So like
yeah.
in terms,
Uh, so yes, the only available camera tracking system I know that's being used locally are the ones in the mid to low end side of things. So it introduces issues, very technical issues like stuttering, frame lag. There, we don't have something called generation lock, where it would be able to perfectly sync your images together across multiple screens. So those are small hiccups that when you add them all together could actually ruin the whole image. So we have to find um, scotch tape, duct tape solutions just to get it presentable enough to pass for good work.
and how do you think this will impact? So like in general, like how um do you think that there's a capacity to you said earlier that um there it's possible to teach this without being in the same room, right? Without being in the same location. So does that mean that despite all of these issues, will there be an opportunity to really deliver jobs because of the technology, like through, and then like, sorry, I'm not making sense, but yung let's change the question na lang. I think it's better if we talk about like how do you think this will impact like the economy, because you know,
Mhm.
knowing that you're the first virtual production company, is
Mhm.
there a lot of opportunities for jobs, but what are the um what has to be put in place for it to
Mhm.
be
Oh,
a game changer for the industry?
okay. Well, I mean, the big dream is really to um get partnerships and co-production with foreign productions who are demanding the level of quality that we would want to provide. Um, there's a lot of jobs that are needed, that simply there's no one to fill the role right now. For example, we work with LED walls. There's only so few people who are highly specialized in setting up the wall, making sure the color matches with the computer color. Um, so there's a lot of job generation that could be created once we start asking for the level of quality that we would want to provide. Um, and even as far as working with artists remotely, it's already being done right now for things like Photoshop, After Effects, the standard filmmaking things. It's really a matter of learning a new tool, a new skill, to add to the arsenal of these artists. It's a bit cliche, but the value of the Filipino creative is very well known. I think um, to be able to arm them with the right tools and the right training would really be a game changer for us, so that we would be able to um, live or we would be able to create within our means. I think that's really the big opportunity that tools like the Unreal Engine, AI creation also as well bring to the table. Like all of a sudden, the barrier to entry is lower. The barrier to entry um, suddenly becomes accessible to someone who just has a desktop computer. Uh, so so yeah, if we would be able to both create tools for them to use and be able to send them to the right training. And I think you would really see some amazing work coming out from a Filipino filmmaker in the near future. So I think what we're doing could be the spirit tip to open up the Philippines to um, foreign and international productions that we otherwise did not have access to in the past. So since technology could be an equalizer, and we could we could bring Filipino talent onto the world stage. So yeah, initially co-productions and partnerships to get us really trained properly in the use of this production technique, and then eventually to be able to offer it um, to our own local scene. You know, all the fantasy and sci-fi productions that never happened. We want to be able to tell them, here's something that we could do. Here's one way we could do it without having to spend Hollywood level budgets anymore. So hopefully that is something that we would be able to bring into the industry here.